right, here we go with Health, Wealth, and Happiness Season 6, Session 8. And I got to tell you, I am honored to have coached like 5,100 high-performance coaching sessions. And today is simply a day to report out of what people have shared. And in the last 4 weeks, I've asked them, of everything we've covered to live a more vibrant life, what is it that really has worked for you? And this is this. Today's training is exactly that. So it's such an honor to A, coach them, to be here with you, and to rock this out, to share the distinctions that really help us feel life, really connect with the beauty of life, to feel the vibrance of life, to feel the verve, vitality, connection, to not feel, oh, same day, different bucket. Same day as yesterday. I feel like a robot. I feel like a zombie in the Matrix. These kinds of things that people have shared over time. It's just an honor to be with you. This is also the front part as we were developing out this new podcast Lucas and I are working on. Successful business, vibrant life. I was starting to go over frameworks and I just started to ask people. So this is like the precursor to what that's all about. So it's such an honor to be on a journey with you. We got a lot of great things in store. And I just want to break these down for you. And then we're going to put them right in your lap and see how you're doing with them. And hopefully this helps you, as it's helped so many others, amplify. Now, if you're a coach, these are individual illustrations and tools. Feel free to use them. Many of them come from the high performance world. And it's like, if you can leverage them in your work, people feel differently. And I'll help you with illustratively framing these kind of things as well. Cool? Well, that said, thank you so much for being on the journey. It has been, for me and many others, a very rough few weeks. We've had a lot of sickness and some loss in the circles of the people that I'm working with. We've had a lot of changes of plans. We've had a lot of things just show up. Times a lot of I don't know, maybe you're experiencing this. I know I am. Just a lot of people who are forgetting to be nice. They're like coming at me in masses. And I was with Lucas, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, Lucas, this is probably the first time I've ever done this with you, but I need to take 1 minute and vent. And I did. And he goes, that was cool, you vented. I've never seen that before. It was just the tipping point was overcome for how much I can withstand of just people demanding things. And I gotta tell you, it wasn't from our mastery community, because our mastery community knows we're high performers. We like to help, be there, be kind, considerate, caring, compassionate, all these cool values. It's from some of the people that are in my tech world that are just demanding stuff. I'm like, well, back up a minute. I'll be glad to help you, but we need to shift this energy. Jeez, oh Pete. And I can handle a few of those in a day or in a week, but it was like a dozen or more over a short period of time. So just know if you're feeling any of this, you're not alone. That's a big part of our journey, right? Knowing that we're not alone. And also know this, if you feel you've got something you're carrying with you that just needs to get out of you. So many people, I didn't realize the power of this until the last few years. They've shared that in our sessions, for example, at the beginning, I'm like, hey, is there anything showing up in the last week since our last session that you need to express, share, just get out of you? And maybe we don't need to work through it. Like I don't need to provide illustration or coach you on it, but perhaps you just need to get out of your head. And there's a art and a beauty to that. So if there's anything for you that you just need to get out of you, kind of like I did with Lucas when I vented, please know we're here for check-ins. We're here for our Zoom roundtable. We're here to help. We're here to serve. We're here to take care of you. So I just want to make sure you have that outlet. It's critical for the well-being of our psychology, physiology, all pieces of us that we have people who care, love, support, take care of us. I hope you know I'm that guy for you, and I'm sure you probably have others. If you're in our master community, I know you have others. But we really want to make sure we're taking care of you. And it's really critical as we step into this that we set that precedent today. Thank you so much for being here. That said, the very first thing we do in our work is we create perspective, frame, illustrative kind of lay of the land. And that's through our 5 Ps. Like, why are we doing this anyway? So the very first framework, so to speak, the game changers we're calling them today, is this idea of the 5 Ps. It's also down here. The, let's see, 5 Ps. number 5 of all things. And let's just go through this. And I want you to kind of walk through it as an exercise, but then I want you to, if you're a coach or you're helping other people, even in a family, we had a couple families do the 5 Ps with their family. And this is crazy because the mom and the dad, so the mom is in coaching with me, and the dad, she basically put it out on a sheet of paper, and then they rated themselves in it, and then they went back through it to see what they could do more in each area. And she has kids, and I think she said they're like 5 and 8. And the kids were like, I don't know what that means, Mom. So she's explaining it. Oh, I get it. And they're doing things as a family they wouldn't have done previous because of the 5 Ps exercise. She shared that they went out and helped with some volunteer organization. This was quite a while ago. But they went out and helped in the volunteer organization because her oldest said that he wanted to feel purposeful. And the essence of that was trying to help him understand what purpose meant. And we the way they equated it, the kind of conclusion they got to was that purpose is helping of others. And maybe with the idea that they're less fortunate too. So they just went on the goal was to help others who are less fortunate. Does that land for you? Isn't that inspiring? So really think about this, not only for yourself, but for others and for the world as we go through this. So the very first P is purpose. So what I'd love for you to do is think about the last 30 days and just ask yourself, how purposeful have I felt overall in the last 30 days? And maybe you can rate yourself. 0, not at all. 10, crushing it. And then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do to amplify purpose? So as far as the formation of what purpose can mean, we kind of went over some ideas for you. But being a mom, a full-time mom, is very purposeful. And one of the things that I've had to remind moms of that I've coached is that purpose is insanely important through the lens of legacy. And when you're raising children, you're creating legacy. Like I believe, this is my belief, that my girls, now 18 and 20, are my only real legacy I leave on this planet. They're going to move forward with our vision, our culture, how we are as humans, and forward that in the world. And both of them are on it. And I'm so proud of them. So that's a big chunk of purpose for me, being a purposeful father. Being here with you is incredibly purposeful for me. I always say my purpose, the thing that I want to do for my purpose is to help you from where you're at to where you want to be, but maybe you don't think or dream big enough. A lot of us get stuck in our routines, right? And we just don't think or dream big enough. So I got to help brainstorm bigger things to be, bigger things to go after, bigger goals, bigger ambitions, these things. So that's a big part of our work, right? We're going to go through and create a business. Well, let's think bigger. 10x that vision. What if, you had all the time in the world. What if this was easy? These are some of the questions we ask as we get into that amplification. So purpose can mean many things, but overall, how have you felt in the last 30 days? 0 to 10. Next, passion. How emotionally engaged and enthused. That's the art of today's work, is to create and sustain emotional engagement and enthusiasm for us living a vibrant life. It's all in the energy. Oh, it's so good. So how have you felt in the last 30 days for passion? 0 to 10. 0, I don't have any passion. I'm a zombie in the matrix, so I don't have a pulse. 10, I'm crushing it, going after it. What is it for you? Third, positivity. Why I'm wearing Bringing the Joy today is to bring the joy and remind myself to step into this, to be of higher energy. I've done the right things. I got my rest. I got hydration. I've been eating really, really well, nutrient rich, fat burning, keto, doing intermittent fasting, some of the stuff we talked about last session with the big amplifiers for energy. I've been exercising, running every other day, either 5K or 2 miles. I've been hitting the weights. I've been using Apple Fitness Plus, which is amazing with the Apple Watch. So I just want to make sure as we think this through for you, these are some of the things that help us amplify the energy and amplify the connection to life. And then we'll go through other things that help us feel life. Does that make sense? Fourth, productive. How productive have I been in the last 30 days? And productive can mean playing Grounded, which is a game that you're a little kid in. It's a computer video game that you play cooperatively with up to 4 people with your friends every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 11 for the last 4 months. And that's what I do. And that's insanely productive for me because I'm on the headset playing this computer game, Grounded. And I'll make sure, maybe in post of this, I'll put a clip in of what it looks like because the graphics are insane. And you're on quests, you're building tools, you're building houses, you're building stairs, you're building zip lines, you're building all this stuff. And we're talking together and connecting for a few hours every week. My two best friends from high school, Todd and John, and my little bro, Adam. And we're playing this, and we're working towards this mission. And we've been playing, I'd say we have 1,000 hours in it with all of our time into it. If you think about all 3 times 12 times how long we've been playing since September, I think. Yeah, and it's like we're just uncovering areas of this yard. It's insane. But my point with that illustration is really clear. What are you doing to feel productive that isn't necessarily related to mission or work, as we call it in high performance, but just to feel connected to life and those you care for, love, want to be with, even if they're not with you physically. My brother lives in Atlanta. My boys live in Michigan. I'm down here in Florida. We're still talking. We talk every day through text. That's the piece. That's productive, as well as moving through life and doing the things we got to do, the responsibilities we have. So how you doing? Last 30 days? 0, not at all. 10, crushing it. Anything there for you? Anything that you need to do to amplify? Maybe through my illustration. Last piece, profitable. I got to tell you, for whatever reason, this has not happened in the last 30 days for me. We've had all kinds of weird assessments and things come up and really threw me sideways. I'm like, what the frick? Where'd that go? Where'd the money go? And I'm like diving into it going, wow, this was just air conditioning broke. We had a huge assessment to repair the towers here at the Studio in the Sky. All this stuff. And I'm like, wow, life just threw a curveball. Okay, got it. We'll make some adjustments. Won't be able to go on a certain trip later this year. That's cool. We'll just make our own trip that's local and go after that. So don't think that I've got that all figured out. It's just like you're dealing with life and it comes up. But profit is making more than you're spending over time. That's the simplest way to think about it. How are you doing there? 0 to 10. Profit, I'm living credit card to credit card. 0. 10, it's dialed in and growing like crazy. Is that helpful? These 5 Ps are a really important framework towards living a vibrant life. You sense it? So we've kind of gone over number 5. We'll touch on it when we get down to it in our training work. But is there anything that came from this? Anything that came from the opener here about how to amplify the vibrancy of life for you, for those you care for those you serve, for those you love? Oh, and there's one more thing I got to add down here, and we're going to put it right here, and that this is a reminder for me as we get into it. The values conversation. I love how I can do that. Just put it in the notes for later. Got you covered. So that ends the perspective part of our work today. Let's dive into the training aspect of our work. Then we'll hit the action list. Knock this out of the park. Here's the thing. I just got through the core sessions. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the core sessions, they're based on high performance habits. Actually, they came out before high performance habits came out. But high performance habits is the book by our main coach that really cover 6 areas that lay the foundation for a high performance life. Clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence, necessity. So that's part of the core sessions that we teach. Then we go into psychology mastery, physiology mastery, productivity mastery, persuasion mastery, which people love that one, purpose mastery, right? We got through these 12, inside 12 weeks. We went one session a week for 1 hour each. And he has reported that it has completely exceeded his expectations because now he feels connected to life. He feels connected at work. He doesn't feel overwhelmed. And it was not much has changed in terms of project load. It was mindset, which we'll talk about. He feels more connected in the day emotionally. He feels better connected with his 2 boys. They're 3 and 6, I think, or 3 and 5. Better connection with his wife. Better overall. He is also a decisive action taker. When we share something in a session, we literally ask, hey, how's this going to show up in your work week or in your week, depending if it's work-based or not? And he goes, I got it scheduled here, here, and here. And the number one thing he reported that was above and beyond everything else that helped him the most to motively connect with his life and really, really amplify the sensation of feeling vibrant in life and emotionally connected is the first item up here. WMEI. So if you haven't heard of what WMEI is, let's walk through what it is technically and why it works. So WMEI is simply how the high performers take a break about every 60 to 90 minutes. And it's what you do in the break. The break could be 2 minutes, could be 10 minutes, could be 30 minutes. The very first thing you do is you get up and you walk. And if you got an Apple Watch, it rewards you for this. You just walk for a minute, it clocks you one little thing in your circles. So just get up and move. Just get up and walk. Maybe, let's just say 5 minutes, right? So for 2 minutes, you just get up and walk. Maybe walk around your office, like in your office, or walk around the building. If you have a small building, walk up and down a hallway. Cool. Go to the bathroom, come back. That's walk. The second M is either meditate or music. A lot of people that I've coached, they're like, I don't meditate. I've tried it. And they've even tried Brendan's release meditation. I'll make sure to link to that below. And that's where you sit peacefully, take deep breath. We'll go through a little release meditation right now. And then we just say, release, 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 release. And I love that mantra-based meditation because the word helps me with the thoughts. Everything comes in because you were trying to clear your brain, right? And I'm just releasing them back. Not now, man. Not now, thought. Go away. Release. Release. Release meditation has helped so many people just clear their mind. And if you need the science behind what meditation does for you mentally, go Google it because it's amazing. But like I said, some people, they're not about it. So music is the secondary thing that we fall to. And what we're trying to pick is a song that resonates for you that really pieces your mind out. So I got a couple examples for you here that we'll dive into more sensory here in a minute too. Black Beauty by Lana Del Rey and Ride by Lana Del Rey. These are two of my go-tos. Another group that I've discovered over the last 2 years is the Cannons and their song Fire for You, Bad Dream. Any of their music really pieces me out. And they've got a lot of music. They just kind of made it big because they got featured on a Netflix show, I guess, 2 years ago. And they just exploded in the last 2 years. So the Cannons is another one. Frank Sinatra, Come Fly With Me is another one for me. So what we're really trying to assess here is when we get into the music part, is listening to an entire song or a clip of a song that just brings your energy down. Just get it down. Let's throw it out. What happens through the W and the M part of this is you energize, you kind of shake it off, you get out of the trench of what you're working on, get back to big picture, take a smell around. One way I like to think of it is like a submarine. As you go through your workday, you're down below the water, moving along. And when you do WMEI, you stop the sub, move up to surface, maybe just raise the periscope, take a look around. Oh yeah, here's where I am. Oh yeah, there's flowers over there. Oh yeah, there's a tree over there. Oh yeah, there's land over there. Oh, there's birds. You're kind of getting reconnected with life. Does that make sense? Really critical part of people feeling vibrant. Wouldn't you say? I only know this because I've done it for the last few years and people have reported that this is a game changer. So let's go over the last two and then we'll kind of wrap this up and challenge you on it. W, walk. M, music, meditate. Your choice. Sometimes people do either or. At one time they'll meditate, one time they'll listen to a song that just chills them out. Third item is E, energize. Now we want to bring the energy back in our body. So some people, they're like, I'm going to do 30 minutes of jumping jacks. Okay. They do their jumping jacks. I'm going to do jump rope. They have a jump rope in their office, for example, and they're jumping rope for 30 seconds. Did I say 30 minutes? I meant 30 seconds. 30 seconds of jumping jacks, 30 seconds of jump rope. I have a kettlebell right over there, just a few kettlebell swings. Bring the energy in, oxygenate your bloodstream and your body. If you're familiar with our work in high performance physiology, breath scaling, where you level your breath up over the course of 15 breaths, just intentionally, and then you bring it back down to sort of resting rate, normal breathe rate. That really, you've got to be careful of that if you're not used to that and your body's not used to getting that much oxygen. It's kind of dizzy. So these are energizer ideas. And then the last 30 seconds, could have even 10 seconds, is you set intention. In this next time block, here is what I'm going to do. I like this idea of here's how I'm going to feel as I end this next time block. We'll talk about food in a minute, but here's how I want to feel as I go through this next 90-minute time block where I'm going to move something forward. A project, some tasks, some responsibilities, a game with my friends. I want to feel like we had a blast and I asked great questions and we just really moved our characters forward. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of intention there. So to sum that up, WMEI: walk, music or meditate, energize, set intention. Now the challenge for you, as it says over here, is to schedule it at least 2 times in your day. Just try it maybe at like when you feel your energy start to wane, maybe at 11 a.m. and maybe at 3 p.m. Just try it. 5 minutes. Take that break, do WMEI, put it in your schedule. It's not in the schedule, it's just a dream, and rock it. Does that make sense? Do it for 1 week, maybe 5 business days. See how you feel at the end of the week. Report back to me. Love to hear. There hasn't been 0 people, and maybe you'll be the first, that have said that didn't do anything for me. They're like, dude, that was a game changer. That really helped me feel connected to life. Because like the sub that stopped and put the Periscope up, I was looking around going, yeah, whew, okay, sometimes it's just great to get out of the trenches of what we're doing, and we have new perspective, or we reframe our perspective and come back into the work. Just ninja moves here. I hope you're sensing it. Big quote. The vibrant life is lived through the senses. The vibrant life is lived through the senses. What's that mean? If you want to feel the vibrance of life, you got to live it through the senses. When I go on my run in the park, I'm smelling. I'm running close to the sweet almond. I'm running close to when it was here before Hurricane Ian. The plumeria, the hibiscus, the gardenias. Like, they're growing back, but they got pretty well taken out with Hurricane Ian back a few months ago. And so I'm just living in the sensory. And that run is different than just getting out there to run. You feel that? That's the shift here we're looking for. I hope this makes sense for you. Second item, in red for a reason, harmony versus balance. This has been a major one. And let me kind of break it down for you. When this guy, who's had this major shift over these 12 sessions I was referring to moments ago, shared with me, I'm trying to live the balanced life. And I'm like, dude, I throw the balanced life out a long time ago because it only set me up for guilt. Living a balanced life is like, to me, is like this. I should be working right now because that's the time that I have to work. And I'm not. So I'm feeling guilty for not working because I'm enjoying this time that my daughter came by because she doesn't live here anymore. You can feel that for me. And I want to spend the time with her. Oh, but I need to be working. Nope. I throw that out and I live life through harmony. Okay. Paige is here. My oldest. I'm going to spend time with her. Work will get done because I'm very clear that I'll move it forward. It just will be a little later than what I thought. That's a very clear differential in the perspective of time between harmony and balance. Does that make sense? What he shared with me was because of that, he reduced his overwhelm big time. Because in his brain, when he was living in balance and he wasn't hitting the notes for all these things, they were stacking. And he felt guilty. He felt overwhelmed. And now he has used the High Performance Planner and the High Performance One-Page Productivity Sheet. That's session 5 of the core sessions. For those of you in our mastery community, you can go back, watch that coaching, and watch the replay, and get those tools. And the High Performance Planner right here. And it's on Growth Day now. He's got it integrated. Brendan has it integrated into Growth Day. But what happened is now he's like, no, I'm going to live into this. Feel its senses. I'm going to live in this moment. And I'll get to that. Harmony, man. I'm going with the flow. That's how he described it. Harmony is going with the flow. But I got an outcome that I want to have for the day, and it's on this list. So if it doesn't meet the exact timed requirements of what I got laid out because life showed up, I'm good with it. And that alone, that's why these two are in red. These are the biggest game changers for living the vibrant life. To be, I like to think of it like deep work, deeply connected to what we're doing, and be in a flow state, so to speak, like I am when I play Grounded with the boys, when I play Battlefield, the game that I love on a video game, when I play blackjack, when I'm with my friends doing that, when we're out on a walk on the beach, whatever it is, we're living into the sensory deeply. That's where the essence of vibrance comes through. But harmony has really helped people transcend through that. Does that make sense? It's a real big mind shift when you get it. It's like, yeah, I need to live a balanced life, work-life balance. Now I got to go live that. And you're not, so you're feeling guilty about it. And that's not, like the highest performers, they don't have guilt per se. It's not about that. It's about deeply connecting to the moment. The high performance definition is that idea of living joyfully, confidently, engaged, consistently from our best self. And it's just whatever we're involved with, we're in. And then we'll check in through WMEI every once in a while to go, okay, how are we doing today? Oh, I got to set some intention to double down on these things that I got sidetracked off of or life showed up. I got to get back onto those. Okay, this next 90 minutes is going to be a catch-up time block. I'm just going to plow through the stuff that got delayed today, whatever that would be. Does that make sense? The art of this is time plus connection and depth. So I hope this is all landing for you. So I'd love to challenge you on this one as well. Think about a life of harmony versus a life of balance. And maybe you aren't the work-life balance person, but a life of harmony is like you're just flowing through states. Flowing through a work state, flowing through an exercise state, flowing through watching some Netflix, flowing through playing grounded, flowing through whatever it is. Then you get done with your day and you're like, yeah, I deeply enjoyed all the things that I did today, or I deeply connected with them. Maybe you didn't enjoy them so much because sometimes in work, that makes sense? I hope this is helping. This is everything towards living the vibrant life. So good. All right. Number 3, foo. This is something that is born from high performance. I kind of summed it up in these particular words: feelings, outputs, outcomes. And you probably have seen me, if you're in our mastery community, teach this a few times. I like to start with the outcomes. If we say, let's just say at the beginning of our week, the outcome for this week is that we have really moved things forward across the spectrum of my health and self-care. We've moved things that could be like running, eating better, and so on, sleeping better. We've moved things forward in my work. I may have created an online course or started that process. I have moved things forward in my relationship. We've had 2 date nights, for example. I've moved things forward with my kids. We went and did something they really, really enjoyed. And I got to tell you the story with that same guy. He said, Char, now, because of harmony versus balance, when I have 1 hour that just shows up to spend with my kids, I just shut everything out. I do not need to be connected on my phone. I'm in the deep flow state of enjoyment with my kids. And that's an outcome that he wanted for his week. Multiple flow states of deep connection with his kids. Does that make sense? So we have the broad outcomes, and then we bring it back to more specific outputs. Like, what are the specific things we need to do behaviorally to move towards the outcome? So when we think about, I want to have game time with my boys, okay, Tuesday nights, 8:30 to 11, that's our time to go deep. All notifications, focus modes on my phone, like everything's turned to D&D, do not disturb. And I'm deeply focused on that. Okay, I also need to think about course creation, or for today's training, I need to think about the training creation, and I really need to make sure that I'm thinking through the framework of this training, for example, on our training coming up. So the idea is deep thought around that. Okay, that's the outcome, because I'm going to film that on Saturday, which is today, and we're really going to own that. Does that all make sense? So that's great, outcomes and outputs, but the highest performers, they bring in feelings, and those 4 feelings come into play. So I'm going to go back over those. If you're taking notes, here they are. The first feeling is how I want to feel as I think about the project. Like there's a high level of intention around that. The second feeling is how I want to feel as I'm in the project. And so often, this is so critical, you're like, oh, this isn't feeling like I thought. I hate doing this. I didn't realize I have to do all this nitty-gritty, tedious stuff. Nope, but I said I was going to feel good about it. Okay, let me get up, take a deep breath, maybe do a WMEI, and come back and reset my intention for how I'm going to feel. Does that make sense? Like that's bringing vibrance back into our work. Third is how we want to feel as we wrap that project up. So if that project's due on Friday and we're wrapping it up, I want to feel this and I want to celebrate this way. Cool? And fourth, which is really a determiner of whether that project should be done and how we want to reconcile it in the future, is how do I want to feel about this thing as a future memory? Oh, this is so critical. How do I want to feel about this thing, this outcome, as a future memory? Because it may seem like a big thing we got to do now, and we're thinking about the future memory, it's going to be like, yeah, but that didn't really do anything. It was something that, did I actually have to do that? When I could have done this, that has an effect, maybe a legacy effect of sorts. Does that make sense? Like the feeling of future memory is critical as the high performer thinks about whether these things are prioritized or something that we need to move forward with. That's foo. And when you think through foo, especially on the feeling side, guess what you amplify in life? And it's a game changer. And if you said vibrance, yeah, you're right. Does that all make sense? It's so good when we get it. So I hope foo helps. We got a challenge for you over there. Journal your foo. Okay, what are the outcomes that I'm hoping to achieve? I like to do this on Sunday. What are the outcomes I hope to achieve by Friday as I close out Friday? Okay, what are the outputs, the scheduled events that I need to move that forward in my week? And how do I want to feel as I go into that? And I'm very clear, the feelings that I want to feel going into that mean that I'm getting my rest, I'm hydrating, I'm eating nutrient-rich, and I'm exercising. This last week was a bear. Like, I was building up to Thursday. Thursday was 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., nonstop, 6-7 sessions. 2 of them were insanely intense, 2 hours each. They were really emotional. And that was at the front end. So then I had a whole tier of a 4-pack, I call it, 1-hour sessions back to back. Don't like to do that, but when I know it's coming, I prepare for it because I thought deeply about it through the lens of foo Sunday night. That was Thursday. Like, I thought about it 4 days in advance. Is that helpful? Really critical. That's how high performers think. If you aren't feeling those kind of things and you want to amplify that and you have not gone through high performance coaching, let's talk, because I'll direct you and we'll get going on that. If you need help in any of these areas, let me know. We'll talk through that. That's what our Zoom roundtables are for and our check-in calls. And you know I'm here for you. That's the goal of this beauty. We are going into, oh my goodness, 2017 to 2023 is like 7 years, right? Like, we're going into our 7th year this year. It's insane how fast time is flying. But I'm here for you energetically through that towards helping improve your life and grow your business. That's my theme. That's my intention. Hope you're sensing how this is coming to light through the very work that you and I are doing. Thank you so much for being here. I love being on this journey with you, rocking it out. You ready for number 4? I thought you would be. Number 4 is the sensory. So the senses. Oh, and this is where the vibrance really amplifies. So good. So I've given you a few examples of ways to think about assessing senses. If you take some time, maybe if you're watching the replay, if you pause the video and just go to YouTube, and I'll link to it below, and watch or listen to, I don't know if she has a video for it, but listen to Black Beauty by Lana Del Rey. Put headphones on that are noise canceling and just listen to the way she describes the words. Like, it is insane through the lens of sensory. That's how most of her songs are, by the way. The second song that I love, and I do love the video of this, it just blows me away. By the time I'm done with it, I'm on another planet mentally, is Ride, R-I-D-E. It's just go and watch it on YouTube. I'll make sure I link to that below. What this hopefully exemplifies for you is it really helps you see life through the senses. Like the visuals on Ride, the words on Ride, the chorus on Ride, the whole shebang is insane. These are really critical components to vibrance in life. Like I've said with the quote, and this is my quote, I just said it in a coaching session, the vibrant life is lived through the senses. They're like, that's amazing. I'm writing that down. I'm like, oh, that just came out. Okay, cool. And so we have to think about the senses. So let's break down the senses. There's a sense of smell. There's a sense of taste, sense of what you hear, audio, sense of what you see, sense of what you feel emotionally, sense of what you feel tactically. So I'm going through, yeah, I think we've covered it all. Does that all make sense? So what we're really trying to aim for, if you really do a great job of this, is you think about, in journal even, here's how I want to hear things that I enjoy this week. Here's how I want to see things I enjoy this week. And when I'm saying that, hearing to me is podcasts, is music, seeing things as TV shows, is plays, is smiles on people's faces because of something we've done. Like, these are things that I journal about. Next up, here's what I want to smell this week. I want to go in the park when I'm running and I want to smell the sweet almond. I want to smell the plumeria, hibiscus. If I'm lucky enough to find a Hong Kong orchid tree, it's my favorite smell in Florida, I'm going to smell that tree. Well, I'm going to smell the orchids on the tree. It'd be kind of weird if I was smelling the tree. I'd look a little silly. But does this make sense, how we're really kind of intentionally planning towards senses? Here's what I want to taste, and I don't know why this is on my mind right now, but it's been on my mind for the last 48 hours. Cibo is a restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. They make amazing lasagna, and I am a massive lasagna fan. I might have it once every 3 months, and I can't stop thinking about it. So guess where I might be going later after our trainings today? Cibo! I want to taste that lasagna with a nice glass of red wine, and maybe their salad with the balsamic vinaigrette on it. Oh, It's killing me just telling you about this. But that's the essence of it. So what I've done, and I've got a link to this below, or I will link to this below, is I've created YouTube short channel on my personal YouTube channel of amazing life experiences. And all they are YouTube shorts, which are 60 seconds or less videos of things in life where I'm living vibrantly or connecting with something vibrantly. Like really the highlights of life's vibrance. And I've got probably 15 shorts in there now. I've been doing this since Vegas about a month ago. So I'll link to that below. And the way it plays, if you go into playlists, it just goes through them like linearly. And just sense. If you need help getting into the sensory, just go through my playlist. You're going to see everything from outside here. You're going to see sunset in Naples. You're going to see a girl making this amazing drink for me called a Papacito in Las Vegas at Toca Madera, which is an amazing sensorial experience. You're going to see Todd, my buddy Todd, taking us into this speakeasy inside the Cosmopolitan in Vegas called Ghost Donkey, which looks like an exit door, but you go in and it's a hidden bar. It's pretty cool. But this is kind of a way to assess how you're living life through the senses. And what I remind myself of, and I didn't realize the fun of this, is I go back through the playlist and I relive it in my mind, and it gets me back to the sensory of life. Does that help? So capture things. If you got a phone, capture some stuff that's sensorial for you, and then play it back, or create a YouTube channel and just put it up there. And it doesn't have to be for anybody else. It can just be for you. I send those videos out when I make them. I send them out depending on the context. I'll send them out to my friends and family and be like, hey, got this for you. A lot of my friends are in Michigan. I'm in Florida, and they're dealing with snow and cold weather, and I'm running out in 80 degrees. It's been extra hot down here. And I'm like, guys, this is what I'm dealing with. We all make choices. Slam them. Got to take them out. Go at them. So the senses is huge. Another piece are values, and I'm so glad I wrote that in. In session 10 of the core in Persuasion Mastery, we talk about varying up intrinsic and extrinsic values. So what does that mean? It means when you're talking to somebody that you've elicited from them what's important to them intrinsically, like they feel purposeful in life, they feel like they're on the right path, they love to connect with people, these kind of things. That goes to the extrinsic side of money, status, power, fame, social recognition. And when you're speaking to them, you're challenging yourself to speak to their values. Hey, I know it's important for you to have that time on the beach to connect, or to disconnect, I mean, and to reset, to walk, to listen. Is there anything I can do to help you there? Or do you want to go down the beach with me? That's sensorial delivery, helping others. You see how this ties back to purpose? It's so amazing when we look at life through the lens of values. Hey, I know as we think about purpose with that family that did that purpose exercise, that helping others is important. So what can we do that demonstrates some of the values our family stands for? Care, compassion, empathy, unconditional love. Does that make sense? So I've had many families in the last 4 weeks, especially, I got on a kick with this, and people are loving it, to take 2 pieces of paper for each family member and write on one side what our family stands for, or what we stand for, what our family doesn't stand for. And with young kids, it's a great way to facilitate great expression around values. These are the values we stand for. These are the things we stand for. These are the values we don't stand for. These are the things we don't stand for. These are the words that we don't use. These are the things that aren't helpful towards the way we want to show up in the world. Does that make sense? This has been critical. I even have a Fortune 500 CEO I'm coaching right now. He took that and he goes, I'm going to my C-level. We're going to lay this out. And we're going to add this pack, the overarching theme, pack them into our mission and culture statements. And we're going to go after that. So it's like kind of mind-blowing where these values go. But what does it do? It's a game changer for vibrance. It's the opposite of mediocre. So we really want to exemplify those values, and then we can put them in a linear list and rate ourselves on them. How well have you been demonstrating care? What can we do to amplify that as an individual or as a company or as a family? Does that all make sense? Vibrance, rocking it. So good. Okay, next up is the 5 Ps, and we've covered those, but now I hope you have a deeper frame for them. When we think about purpose, bring in the values, bring in the sensory, bring in the feelings, outputs, and outcomes, bring in harmony. Reconnect with your purpose throughout the day through WMEI. See the magic? Passion. It's all about sensory. Emotional enthusiasm and engagement. Positive energy. About sensory. You know how you feel if you haven't had good sleep in a few days. I'm not vibrant at all. Productivity, moving things forward through what lens? It's not just the work lens. It's the connection with others lens. This is taking care of our self lens. Everything I do is like I'm swinging on the ropes of purpose and productivity as I go from coaching call to run to gaming to eating to relaxing to watching YouTube and growing. And when I watch YouTube, I'm not just watching it like Netflix. Like, I'm really working on with certain YouTubers to grow knowledge, wisdom, skill, ability. Sometimes I'll watch things that are fun like Kara and Nate, Elaine and Riley, because they really inspire a life of vibrance. And I'll make sure to link to them below. But the idea is growth, ambition, going after it, good energy. Is this all tying together for you? So the bonus piece here is creative expression. If you're in our high performance group coaching program, there is a session inside the charge sessions. It's one of the charge drives called creative expression. And what I really wanted to make sure with the bonus piece here is that session, creative expression, is a way to amplify vibrance. Off camera over here are guitars. When I play those guitars, it feels vibrant. Well, primarily because it's overdriven and loud. And I'm like, there's something about my soul in a guitar riff, like a chord, that just resonates. And it's so good. So, vibrance, yeah. And I have a goal for this year on my vision board called riffs and licks. So licks, more solo work, riffs, more chord work. Does that make sense? And that's creative expression. So I just really want to give you another tool here to really amplify this game changer of life lived vibrantly. So go back through, and I'll link to creative expression. If you're a member, you can get into it. If you're not, you have to sign up to be part of our mastery community, to be part of the group coaching program. Go into that replay and watch it and get the session work, do the session work, because it's going to really help amplify and realign, if you will, you living vibrantly. Helpful? Well, that ends the training today. Adult Learning Theory says we need to go over it. So we're kind of going to do that in our action list because it's pretty much a map of action taken on each of the items. The very first one we've already covered. Schedule WMEI, walk, meditate or music, energize, intention, 2 times per day, every day this week. Report to me at the end of the week. Just do it. See how you feel. I'm smiling because I know from what people have shared, it is a game changer for feeling the connection to life. And I'd say the vibrance of life. Second item, remove the guilt. Live through harmony. And it's kind of hard to describe how you change perspective, other than just to say, instead of me feeling like I have to work-life balance, I'm just going to go through a flow state. So one way of thinking of it is generalizing the outcomes for a day and saying, by the end of this day, I want to have all these things done. But I'm going to be, and this is the goal set, maybe if you're using high performance time blocking, that I'm going to try to live to. But if it doesn't work out, I'll just move that time block back and I'll be okay with it. That okay with it is the part where it goes from balance to harmony. Is that helpful? Journal your food, journal your feelings, outputs, outcomes. I always try to do this on Sunday. Sometimes I don't do it because I don't write, I type. But sometimes I don't even type it, I think about it. I'm sitting there and going, okay, I'll look at my schedule and I'll be like, here's the outcomes that I'm hoping to achieve this week. Here's the outputs that I need to have in play behaviorally, and here's how I want to feel about it. And if anything feels off, I'm like, I got to rethink that one through. I got to stop that commitment. I got to say no to something. Does that make sense? It's really helpful towards that. Go deep with senses. So spend some time with Lana. Hopefully you like her music, or whoever it is for you. Spend some time with the cannons. Spend some time in nature. But I would love for you to think about, when you go back through the timeline of your life, when did you feel most connected to your senses? Like fully present and engaged. And I'm just thinking of Cibo lasagna. So tonight, Cibo lasagna maybe? We'll see. But this is it, right? This is the sensory of it. Spend some time there. Really powerful. Number 5, schedule your ratings. Spend time. Each of these can be rated. Each of those can be rated. Schedule that. Schedule the 5 Ps. Lucas and I just developed our questionnaire for our discovery calls for Internet Services Group, where we do internet work and help people amplify their business, grow their business through the power of technology, right? So this is an idea. Well, the first thing we have them do is rate themselves in the 5 Ps. I'll make sure we include the current version. I think we have pretty well tweaked it out of our simple discovery call application, which is our topic for next session, by the way. So we'll be diving deep on that in our business work today. But this is it. Schedule your ratings. See how you feel about intentionally putting more vibrance in your life. Game changing in your life. Next, listen and watch Lana Del Rey. Take some time with Ride. Just watch the video, maybe put some noise canceling headphones on or earbuds in or whatever it is, or just loudly watch it. Not too loud, but you get what I mean. See how you feel as you just step into it. Just pause life during this time and really get into the lyrics and the message and the story. Oh, it's so good. And if Lana isn't your thing, maybe Frank Sinatra or somebody else, but just something that takes you away. You ever been to a movie and you get out of it and you're like, oh yeah, I'm back on Earth. Because they took you away. That's what I'm talking about. This is about the vibrance of life. So I hope we crushed it for you today. Would love to hear you, or if you want to comment, you can share this on our Zoom Roundtable too. One takeaway from our work today. One thing you loved from our work today. What is that for you? Take some time, pop it in the comments, or tell us in a roundtable. What is it for you that really helped you today? It's been an honor being on a journey with you. Thank you so much. We're getting into our training on the discovery call, the magic sales mastery. This is the one thing that I feel like I undertrained. We're going to get into that in just a moment. So I cannot wait to see you there. Sending you tons of positive, loving, healing, healthy energy, thoughts, and vibes. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. We rocked it.